Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider, find out how USC's athletics department is helping fans, and a controversial bill that could affect trans women athletes.
I don't want to sacrifice our girls for what people are calling equality.
But first, a glance at what is going on at the State House. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ty Young. Our top story today, it's a big week for South Carolina's legislature. A battle is brewing over the budget. According to U.S. News and World Report, the Senate is proposing a $1 billion budget cut and a $1 billion tax refund to South Carolinians. Included in that plan, state employees would get a 3% pay raise, but starting teacher salaries would be lower than House lawmakers want. Several other contentious issues are also making their way through the legislative process. Here with details on that in today's Pure Politics is Mary Kimball Osborne. MK?
Thanks, Ty. As we near the end of the legislative session, the State House floor is heating up. 3 bills are getting intense scrutiny this week. First up, the House approved a new abortion bill 71-29. It would require doctors to tell women who seek chemical abortions that there is a way to reverse the procedure. But several OBGYNs testified that there's no clinical proof of this, and attempts at reversal could endanger the life of the woman. The bill is now in the hands of the Senate. Meantime, the Senate has sent parental leave legislation over to the House. The House bill proposes 12 weeks of paid family leave for state employees due to the birth, adoption, or fostering of children. And finally, the Compassionate Care Act, which would legalize medical cannabis, remains in a House committee. If passed, it would be one of the most restrictive medical marijuana bills in the country. If it doesn't pass out of the House by May 12th, it will be dead for this legislative session. And that's not the only bill that hangs in the balance. For more on other contentious legislation, we go back to Ty. Ty?
That's right, MK. The legislative session is in 10 days, and there's still a big push to get a hate crime bill passed. The Clementa C. Pinckney hate crimes bill has been stuck in the Senate for months following objections from a few Republicans who are saying the provisions are too broad to pass. Advocates and black lawmakers held a press conference last week calling for the Senate to take the legislation up for debate before time runs out. South Carolina is one of only 2 states in the nation that doesn't have a hate crime law. A bill that could change the future of women's sports has passed through committee and recently made its way to the House floor for debate. Here with more on that is Carolina Insider's Destiny Kennedy.
That disagreed with the decision to allow her to swim for the
Leah Thomas, a transgender swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania, has sparked a debate in state houses across the country. She recently won the NCAA Division I National Championship as the first openly trans woman. The historic win has people questioning if it was fair to her non-trans competitors. The debate has made its way to South Carolina, where a bill called Save Women's Sports Act is being proposed. This bill would prohibit transgender women from competing in non-transgender women's sports in middle and high school. It has been amended to include private schools and collegiate sports. This is the 6th time the bill has been introduced. Representative Ashley Trantham is the lead sponsor of the original bill. Her passion for sports began in high school and continued with her daughter, who played travel ball.
I don't want to sacrifice our girls for what people are calling equality, because if you really, really look at it, is it equal? Is that equality when you have 2 individuals, and by God's design, one was designed to be stronger?
So far, 14 states have passed similar legislation. Melissa Moore, the Lower Country manager for Women's Rights and Empowerment Network, says the bill will only cause more damage.
Sports is a known protective factor that helps people not feel suicidal. It helps people understand how to collaborate and cooperate. It's a huge part of a young person's social development.
A transgender woman student athlete is not permitted to compete on a non-transgender women's team until after 1 year of testosterone suppression treatment. Ongoing monitoring of treatment and written documentation is required for student athletes undergoing testosterone suppression, according to the policy of the NCAA. Regardless of this, some people feel the game is still rigged. For Carolina Insider, I'm Destiny Kennedy.
Shortly after this story was produced, the bill passed the House by a vote of 82 to 28. It's now moved on to the Senate for debate. In other sports news, USC's athletics department is hiring for the new Gamecock Ambassador program. Ambassadors will assist fans on home games by answering visitors' questions and getting them where they need to go. The program is open to any faculty, staff, or students. The position pays $12 an hour and offers opportunities for other incentives and rewards such as tickets to events as well as Gamecock merch. Training kicks off in August. You can apply now at Gamecocks Online. That's it for this semester's final edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. A new crew of producers will see you back here next fall.